vehicle was carjacked, but with somebody with a weapon. LAPD in pursuit. Hasn't been too, crazy. He was on surface streets for a long time. The most crazy part of it was we only could hear it. We didn't actually see it. Apparently, he stopped in a neighborhood somewhere, and then actually a person came up to the vehicle. Multiple people came up to the vehicle. They did detain at least one woman. Right now, you see LAPD on the freeway. We're southbound on the 110, making our way past Rosecrans. And that's all I got right now. Speeds are about freeway speeds. Let me see if I can start playing with some of my speedometer stuff. Yeah, they're going 65, 70. 7 minutes. You guys are pretty hopeful here. Is that when this is going to be over? 7 minutes? We can't. No, we can't do that. Can't do that. Oh, looks like we're getting over. No blinker. Hey, TOC. Hey, TOC, what's up? Better? Thank you. We should do bars someday. And then just westbound on Redondo. We should do bars someday and make sure that you're really seeing what my camera's seeing. Like real camera bars, not just bars generated from a switcher. You got it, right? Okay. Whoop. Well, we just saw it right there. He's on Redondo Beach. He just made a northbound turn. I think that's going to be Vermont. It is Vermont. LAPD in pursuit. This was, as far as chases go, this has been kind of, let's just say he's been following a lot of the rules. Not too high speeds, maybe not using his blinker. He did cut off a couple of vehicles right there, made one of those hard left turns to make a right turn. But other than that, mostly pretty slow and go. That's what you're seeing right there. Now, that driver of that vehicle is wanted for carjacking. That's the way it's being described right now. First it was armed 211, then it was GTA, and now it's bound to armed carjacker. That's the person driving that vehicle. Now, Bobby, the only thing that was really kind of unusual about the pursuit, and we didn't see it, we just listened to it. Earlier on, it was up in the LA area. Right now, we're down in the Harbor Gateway, but we were up in South Los Angeles. It was up in South Los Angeles, and in a neighborhood off of Bering Cross, and then the vehicle basically stopped. And people came up to the car. Somebody actually got in the car, then got out of the car. Of course, LAPD was at a distance. They were giving this car some room. But when all that was going on, sure enough, after that vehicle pulled away from the curb, officers from LAPD pulled up and pulled over those folks that were walking away from the car just to see what was going on. Right now, though, you can see he's making his way through a gore point right there. Northbound Vermont, we're at Rosecrans, a major intersection. But at least he's not running right through these red lights. Right, Bobby? Definitely have to be extra careful. Now, these law enforcement, LAPD, they're the ones leading this right now, and they have been this entire time. When this comes to an end, that's when the high tension is really definitely going to be on. If that vehicle does spin around, you got a hand out the window right there. I hope that guy wasn't brandishing a weapon. But basically, when this comes to an end, that's when all that high tension is really going to start happening. Like you said, armed to 11. That means that this person most likely has a weapon. And then, of course, if they do a pit pit maneuver. That might be one of the reasons why they haven't yet. You don't want that vehicle spinning around with that driver having the opportunity to, clearly see his pursuers, the LAPD. I'm going to play with the camera a little bit. I'm not sure if he's putting out a cell phone out the window to get some better shots or what's going on there, but definitely got his hand out the window every now and then. Of course, now we're making a turn, so it's going to be a little tougher. We're back on El Segundo from Vermont, so we're going to be heading eastbound El Segundo from Vermont right now. So making his way back over to the 110 freeway. Hasn't been on the freeway that often, mostly on surface streets. Speeds just about what the law would have want, right about 45 right now. I'm going to move Skyfox around a little bit. We're going to get a better shot so we don't have these buildings eclipsing us, but definitely making our way back over to the 110. If he gets on it, well, we're over it right now. That's right. Back up onto the freeway. They were asking about the map. I just put it up right there. Oops, I got to get rid of something right there. Definitely, just making his way back onto the freeway, northbound on the 110. He has that option of the 105 clearly, but we haven't seen him on the 105 yet. Maybe that'll be the next round of freeways that we're taking. But again, you can see it, not really crazy high speeds. We are going just a little bit over the speed limit, mostly very slow and go, except for when he had his hand out the window. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they don't like people using cell phones while they're driving. But right now, you can see that vehicle just making his way northbound. Now we are technically heading back into, and well, now we're not. We're picking up the 105 right there, which is really good news. My pilot, they still have this thing with LAPD. They will not allow us and another helicopter into the airspace at the same time during a pursuit. So him taking the 105, very helpful for us today following this. Actually, it looks like he's getting off the freeway. So this is going to take him onto Imperial, I believe. And you can see that vehicle making his way back up into that area. But this is where he was earlier on. And we'll keep an eye on it, see which way he goes. I believe he's going to make a westbound turn here. But we'll keep an eye on it, and the pursuit continues as it's making its way into the South Los Angeles area on Imperial, crossing back over the 110 freeway. Figures. Well, they that. I've been listening to them talk about that quite a bit, actually, and the only thing they can confirm is just the driver. Clearly, this is probably as close as we can get to that to the window there, and you can see him as just lighting up a smoke. The driver of this vehicle, clearly somebody that's very popular when they were in those neighborhoods down there in the South Los Angeles area, off of Bering Cross and Colton. There were a lot of folks making their way over to the car. Now, I don't know if this guy was making phone calls, maybe talking to some friends, possibly, thinking that he's going to be at least unavailable for a lot of folks for a while. Maybe that was the idea right there, but unclear what that was all about. But I do know that LAPD did stop a lot of those people after they talked to this driver of this vehicle, a wanted armed carjacking suspect. So that was interesting to see in itself, making a hard turn right there, going to be going northbound now. Again, we're kind of at a distance because it's one of those spots where even if it wasn't a pursuit right now, LAX would frown on us being there because this is the approach for LAX airport. So the big jets make their way down there. Safety is always paramount, especially with LAX and, of course, with those passenger jets. So we'd be at a little bit of a distance anyway. My pilot today is Dylan, and he's doing a great job trying to keep track of where it is out there and also putting us in the best spots even at a distance. Right now, though, still slow moving, making our way way back into neighborhoods. I'm not seeing those names of those neighborhoods that we were talking about earlier on. Don't think he's exactly in that same spot, but I'm curious to see if more people are going to come out and meet this vehicle, even though LAPD is right there on his bumper. That looks like a Tahoe. I would believe that's a Tahoe, possibly a Yukon. It's an older one. You never want to say that anymore. All the cars from 2000 and up are pretty solid. But you know, it is definitely an older Tahoe, probably a Yukon. But it's a bigger car. Those are big vehicles, and a lot of times we'll hear them say, "Oh, they're not going to pit it because of the size." The size really doesn't have much to do with that. It's all about the amount of weight on that rear axle, and any one of those SUVs, the LAPD SUVs, would be able to spin that around if they would make contact. I'm wondering if it is just that this person most likely armed, and that's the reason why they're not doing the pit maneuver. There's been many opportunities, and again, I am just a guy in a helicopter watching chases, but I'm sure a lot of folks at home too have been like, "Oh, look at the speeds. He could have got it. He could have got him." So maybe they're not doing it right now because of the possibility, or the strong possibility, that that driver may be armed, or there may be a weapon in that vehicle. So that might be the reason why they're not, because there's been plenty of opportunities, and especially with these slow speeds. Right now, though, still making our way, appeared to be northbound on Hoover. We are getting closer to that neighborhood where we were listening earlier on, so I'm wondering if he's going to make a turn, make his way over to Bering Cross. But right now, just a slow-moving pursuit. Armed suspect behind, possibly armed suspect behind the wheel, but it's definitely an armed GTA, meaning that that's a carjacking victim's car that we're following right now with LAPD. Whoa! Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Pull, Pulling into the gas station. I hope he's not planning on getting gas, because I don't think LAPD is going to put up with that. Vehicle stopping, and he's out running. That was something that I did not expect. Now, that baggy clothing, that's going to be very important for LAPD. They're going to keep an eye on that for sure. I didn't see him making hand motions or trying to do anything. But boy, those cars just just like corralling cats. This guy just running back and forth. But LAPD, they had the vehicles and they had the numbers. I'm hoping that they got this guy into custody. I guess not. Yep, he's still running right there. Let's see, keep an eye on where he went. I thought he was back over in the other area. I hope he didn't make his way back into that car. But right now, though, it appears that he has made his way back into that vehicle, and you can see a number of the law enforcement making their way back over here. But very interesting indeed. We're going to keep an eye on it as well. I'm going to make sure we get an ear on that scanner and see what they're listening to. I wish, this is one of those times, I hope somebody from LAPD is watching. I wish they would break that rule so we could join him in the airspace. We could have clearly saw where that guy went, had a separate set of eyes on it. But right now, they're not at all. They just heard them saying that they're clearing the vehicle, and that means that that suspect in custody right there, Bobby. You are right, 100%. Yep. Definitely. Definitely, that was what it was. Bobby, you always who can figure out what these guys are thinking? That is for sure. This is all the years I've been doing this, I get that a lot, but it's like who knows what these guys are thinking? This guy's right there. He's thinking he's going into that cop car, and nobody's been injured and no law enforcement. There you go. Thank you. Lemon. Yeah, I think we probably can bail. Let me find out from our assignment desk. Assignment desk. It is a Yukon. I can hear you. Yeah, I just was